Hello, a very good afternoon to you. You're watching a live stream of Time with Agri-business Giants, and this show is being aired on every Thursdays at 2 p.m. So thank you very much for staying with us once again for this insightful conversation. Well, today promises to be a very, very inspiring conversation, and we are going to be learning a lot. It's going to be insightful. Today we're looking at a crucial topic in the agribusiness sector, and I know that a lot of farmers out there would want to produce their crops and also export them to the international market. So we are here to have conversation on the topic, meeting global agribusiness standards for export. We all know that before crops are being exported or before value-added produce or crops are being exported to the international market, they have to go through some regulatory standards as well as some regulatory checks. Today we're looking at that and how that is beneficial to the agribusiness sector. My name is Prince Opoku Dogbe, and this program is being sponsored by Tias Group and KAIS. Tias is a company that's offering agribusinesses or investors with financial support of up to 80% to own a processing factory. KAIS is also a B2B platform that connects the agribusiness market to the Chinese market. So if you are a business in Africa and want to connect to the Asian market, KAIS is the best app for you. So just download KAIS on Play Store and the App Store. KAIS is spelled CAISTT. All right, so my guest is with me here in the studio, but we're going for a short break. When we come back, we'll delve into the discussion. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the short commercial break. There is still time with Agribusiness Giant. So if you're watching us from Facebook, please do well to like this video and as well share as well. If you're also watching us on YouTube, do well to subscribe to this channel to be updated on the relevant issues when it comes to the agricultural sector. So today my guest for today's discussion is Godwin Zillod Hansen Norte. He's a founder of SSI Agri Farms Limited. So let me give you a brief profile about what he does. So currently he provides service and solution for farms as mangoes, potatoes, coconuts, etc. He also ensures the quality and volume of the crops meets the value chain standard for exporters, factory processors, shops, and the local market. So I'm going to be speaking with this gentleman who has been in this sector for 8 good years now. Mr. Zillod, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So you're live on Time with Agribusiness Giants.
Okay, that's great.
We appreciate your presence here.
Okay.
You've been doing this for 8 years.
Yep.
We are looking at the export market today. Okay. We want to educate farmers on what they need to do. What they need to adhere to when it comes to sending their produce to the international market. So that's the discussion we are going to have here today. Okay. But briefly, tell me, what's the importance of exports? Or we meeting the regulatory standard when it comes to exporting our products to the international markets?
Exports is really it helps in the value chain. Majorly helps in the value chain, especially when we have a product which is more abundant in a time that it can the domestic markets cannot really consume that much.
Okay.
We have to find a means to really move it out for other places that will need it mostly.
Okay.
Also other places that will add value to the products, such as maybe exporting, factory processing, or just for domestic purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are saying that, I mean, we produce although, but there are times where the produce is huge than the local market.
Yes, it's huge than the domestic consumption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means that in those times you experience post-harvest losses.
Yeah, we have a lot of post-harvest losses.
Okay.
So
before we delve deep into the discussion, what does SSI Agri-Farms do in terms of, I mean, this aspect?
we provide solutions, services, and innovative techniques for farmers and the whole value chain. That's this involving providing services for agronomists, farmhand support to farmers.
Okay.
Most of the farming we have in Ghana now, especially, is the olden techniques of farming. So an old man cannot weed more than 3 acres. So they probably need hands, young guys who can really do more. They probably don't have means to consult agronomists or even go to the extension offices to really seek advice. So they need an intermediate partner that can help them. They report a particular problem on their farm, like diseases or fungicide. Okay. We also complain to independent agronomists or the agri-extension officers to know exactly what is happening on the field, so they can solve it.
Okay. So when it comes to the export markets, what do you do?
In the export markets, we mainly we advise every farmer needs to be under PPRSD, the Plant Protection Agencies, which is very important because they give you the major training, the major regulations you have to follow to make sure you have the perfect crops for export.
Okay.
Yeah, and also coming grading. Grading is very important in export because if you don't grade, you cannot take every grade into export. You are going to fail.
Okay.
So
I mean, yeah, that's very good. So let's move into the discussion properly. Okay. Now we want to know if a farmer, let's say I'm producing mangoes, okay, and then I want to add value to them, or even I'm not adding value to them, but I'm exporting the raw ones. So it can be either the raw mangoes or the value added ones. Now, what should I do? What are the requirements that I should consider so that my products will be accepted on the international market?
There are experienced exporters. Not everyone can be an exporter.
Okay.
Because you cannot just export without experience. Because we have a farmer and we have an exporter. And they all work together because the exporter brings its requirement. Okay. What it need the product to be and how it have to look like. The exporter also do its own challenge on working on the packaging. Like if you really exporting to Europe, you have to have a certain packaging. If you go into Asia or Middle East, you have a certain way of packaging and the requirement of certifications. Okay. So they all work together. Not everyone can be an exporter, especially when it comes to crops.
Okay, so within that range, what is the responsibility of the farmer? Then we'll later move on to the responsibility of the exporter. The
responsibility of the farmer comes in by you following the right regulations for plants and also productions.
What are some of the regulations?
Like mostly the control of your pesticide, number one. The dosage you use on your farm for chemicals is also very important, and also sanitation are very important. Also in the setting of, you have to do systematic harvest.
Systematic harvest.
Systematic harvest, which means you don't have to wait for all the crops to be ready. To start getting perished before you start harvest. Okay. Let's say for instance mango, you can grade and export quality out of the farm before you maybe supply to factory or supermarket or maybe local market. Okay. Because the first harvest, you take the finest ones and the most healthy ones. What we check mostly in exports product like mango is stone weevil, skin blemish, what we call it, bruises.
That is on the mango.
On the mango.
Okay.
Those are the main problems But right now, with experienced exporters who are working with farmers directly, they don't have that problem because they are already experienced.
Okay.
But there is someone, he just said because he just acquired a certificate or he just want to do something and they make mistake on the market. And one mistake can spoil everything.
Okay. I mean, this is a very interactive conversation. So if you are watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, please kindly join the conversation. We would like to hear from you as well. So you can comment in the comment box below and then we'll read it out for you. All right, so you've spoken about the farmers. So that's the responsibility of the farmer. But the farmer, does he also do something in relation to packaging?
No. The farmer, you produce, you just make sure you produce.
Okay.
The exporter have the responsibility of packaging. That requires a certified pack house, a standard box for packaging.
Okay.
A client may request for a certain particular packaging. Maybe I want a product with a socks, which are more premium export. Then we have some standard export.
Okay.
The premium, you put socks, you have a lot of some stickers to make sure, also traceable stickers like to trace the farm where the produce is coming from. So all those, the exporter, it comes with packaging, transportation, and your freight issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what the exporter does.
Yes.
I mean, exclusively, that's what they do.
That's
or
what
there are other stuff.
There are a whole lot, but we can't go into them.
We can't go into. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. So that means that from what you said, the farmer needs to have an exporter.
Yes.
You need to have someone who is qualified to, export your products to the international market.
First, before you produce an export quality product, you have to make sure you have a reliable market.
Okay. So the market comes to play.
Yeah, the markets come to play because without you having the assurance of markets, maintaining an exportable farm is a little bit expensive. Okay. You need the certification from many organizations like PPRZ, as I said earlier.
Okay.
They will give you the pattern and the regulations to go about, and also trainings and educations come in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the training is for the farmers or the exporters?
For farmers.
For farmers. Okay.
Yes. For farmers.
Okay.
For farmers particularly. The Global Gap have have a certificate for the farmer, also the pack house.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you kept the products before you pack it, or you store it before you pack it. It also needs a certification in terms of sanitation, in terms of the temperature control
of the crop,
of the crops,
or of the farm,
of where you are storing.
Where you are storing the food.
Yeah.
Okay. Before it's being sent to the international market.
Yes.
Okay.
You can harvest a fruit, maybe mango, but if you don't know, you keep it in a certain temperature. It will lose density before even exported.
Okay.
So the fruits went to the market. Before you went to the market and you see they look like sick fruits. No, it doesn't look. Skin blemish. You have I would call bruises on it. Yeah, it doesn't meet the standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the pricing if you are to price these products on the international market? Is it the exporters that come together to do the pricing?
We have international price for products.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to like this minor season, when we have November, December. Only in Africa, we and Egypt are the ones who really have. Egypt will be shortened somewhere, probably by December. Okay. So most of the orders coming from Middle East are all coming to Ghana. But especially that's on mangoes. On mangoes, yeah. We in Egypt right now have mangoes that's end of the year, and most of the demand come from Middle East, Europe and other places like Spain, Turkey, all those places. The orders come from there. Okay. So once Egypt is going down on their production, they are also ending their season. By then we are also getting into our season. Yeah, maybe after us, then it should be Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how is export on the international market? You spoke of mango. Do you do anything for cocoa?
Cocoa, no. Cocoa, officially is for cocoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, among the crops that you do, which one is very lucrative when it comes to the export demand?
Mangoes.
Mangoes?
Yeah, mangoes.
And the raw ones or the processed ones?
Raw ones and the processed ones. Also, Pineapples.
Pineapples, okay.
Pineapples also move, and they are very, because of the new modern way of processing and packaging. I think there is hope a lot, because they are perishable crops, and
Yeah.
if you don't find ways to process it and also package it in a certain form, taking the raw materials outside is always a problem, because by then they find so much mistakes which you cannot maintain.
Yeah.
So it's better you process maybe like dry fruits.
Okay.
People, dry fruit like this, before you finish, you have the packaging. You don't have so much, nothing to lose in terms of packaging or transportation or packaging. If it's good, but you don't lose a lot like the fresh ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you recommend that farmers should process their crops before exporting them, and even that even comes with, higher prices on their crops, right?
Yes, and it also helps you reduce post-harvest losses.
Post-harvest losses, okay.
Yes, it helps you reduce post. Not farmers. There should be more processing firms to really. There's more. There are some, but they need to. There is a need for more.
Okay, but what do you say about Ghana's processing industry?
Oh, they're doing good. They're doing good, especially they're making farmers really have more encouragement to do more, to produce more, and it's very, very good. They are doing more, but still there is a need to do more. In terms of energy supply to these factories are always a problem.
Okay.
You can buy fruits which is perishable, maybe before you know you don't have energy
to process them.
Yeah, and it's always a problem.
Okay. All right, so that's very insightful. Let's touch on, some of the challenges that the farmers are facing when it comes to meeting global standards. You are on the field, you've interacted with a lot of farmers since you started operation 8 years ago. So what is on the grounds? What are on the grounds? What is the challenge that farmers are facing with respect to meeting global standards for agribusiness?
One is low. They don't have any pre-finance from anywhere, like pre-finance for production or any kind of thing.
Okay, so no finance.
Yeah, if the banks have easy pre-finance for farmers, it could make a lot of impact for meeting standard. Secondly, poor extension. The small scale farmer in the village, before he can take transport to the city to speak to an extension officer or meet an agronomist, are always a problem. So poor extensions and consultation to know critical situations they are facing on their farm, because they are on the farm. They see diseases they don't know about, but they just take it like it's normal, which when they are able to make a consultation, they can be information to other farmers that such a disease is getting into the system. So you have to protect your crops. Okay. So low extension. Secondly, low productivity is also a big problem. Okay. Yeah, low productivity, and also supply of input. Supply of inputs, and it all rely on the pre-financing issue. You don't have the chemical. When the disease comes, you can't even protect it before. So before you know, the disease just comes.
Yes. Okay.
Like mangoes, we are facing problems of BBX. It's a big problem right now for mango farmers, and a whole different diseases. But there are chemicals. But when the farmer don't have where maybe he can really purchase this chemical at the time he needs it, not when the situation is so uncontrollable. Yeah, prevention is better than cure. Yeah. Most farmers right now, olden ways, they see the disease before they start to apply chemical. You have to protect it against it. Okay. Yeah.
We're going for a short break, but tell us, what should be the way forward with respect to the challenges that farmers are facing?
It's a value chain issues, and everybody they have to get involved. We all eat and we all consume this food they produce. Yeah. So if we don't see and ensure the safety of what you are what you're eating is coming from, we are all not safe.
We are all not safe. Yeah.
So it's good we all like to see if farmer comes to you on a pre-finance. Just try to consult an agronomist to see what exactly he needs, because right now, because of the climate change, there is no more time to farm. You can farm anytime if you have the finances and the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, so imagine you have off-season produce whereby the crop's not supposed to be in season, and you have it, you make more value.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, so let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about food safety. We'll be looking at how farmers should secure, exports on the international market through making sure that their farms or where they produce or process their crops is safe, so that the person who is going to consume the end product will be consuming some safe food. So let's go for a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the TIA's office. Come on in and let's embark on an exciting journey together. We are excited to develop the West African Sub-Region's agriculture sector with 3 key amazing services: the financial support, technical support, and offtake support. Join us as we showcase our diverse teams, share our values of network, and give you a sneak peek into the exciting projects we are working on.
All right, so welcome back from a short break. We are still talking about how to meet global standards when it comes to agribusiness. Farmers would want to export their produce to the international market. So I'm speaking to Godwin Zilord Hansen Notte. He's a founder of SSI Agri Farms Limited, and he's providing a lot of service and solutions for farms out there in terms of exporting and processing. Yeah. Mr. Godwin, or Mr. Notte, yeah. So let's continue with food safety.
Okay.
If a farmer wants to, make sure that he is assuring or ensuring food safety on the farm, what should a farmer be doing?
It comes in a whole lot of ways. Like farm sanitation is very important.
Okay.
Some farms that didn't have where farmhouse. It doesn't have a farmhouse. Yeah, they don't have let's say where they can have their privacy.
Okay.
Maybe urinal or
some amenities.
Amenities.
On the farm.
Yeah. They don't have where they eat, like a canteen where they can eat.
Okay.
And also sanitation is major thing for good farm practices, because if you don't keep your farm very sanitized, it brings a lot of diseases. You yourself, before the product gets ready, you have to lose major of the crops.
Okay.
Because there will be airborne diseases, there will be other insects, there will be pesticide, because all these pests hides from the deaths you do around. Like maybe you finish spraying your chemical bottles, you just leave it in the farm. No, you have to have where you have your boiler, your garbage,
where you put your refuse.
Your refuse, yeah, you have to have a refuse dump place, which have to be fenced. You have to have a canteen where people don't just eat anywhere in the farm and leave normal foods. Just fill the whole place with food.
Okay.
And secondly, it's reduce foodborne illness.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of using chemical, some of them don't understand, especially the local farmers. The small scale farmers don't have idea on dosage.
Okay.
Yeah, so when they in terms of pesticiding, maybe a pesticide that will take like 14 days, maybe by 1 liter, maybe he's using 2 liters, and he will not tell the exporter, or he doesn't make records of all of those things. So you pesticide, you harvest whereby the fruit is been poisoned already.
Okay.
because the person, you don't know exactly when the poison is sprayed. You don't know, maybe the poison, the pesticide is supposed to be 21 days, or the fungicide is maybe 28 days, 14, yeah, you don't know. So you harvest, which means you're harvesting poison into the market. Yeah, and
well, that's
it happens to the local women very mostly, because they don't check all these qualities.
I mean, they don't have the insights on that.
Yeah,
the education is not.
Yeah, so the local market, you can maybe, you just want, oh, I have tomatoes. Okay, you have tomatoes. Okay, fine, I want it, and it's just harvest. It doesn't know maybe the pesticide dosage is expired or not.
Okay.
They don't care.
That even comes to proper record keeping.
Yeah, proper record
when
keeping.
it comes to exports, is it
very important?
Important.
It's very, very important. That's why I was saying earlier, you keep record on the orders.
Okay.
If you don't keep record, you cannot, even for your next season of production, you will not know your losses or your gains.
Okay.
You will not know, maybe in this season, on the 28th, you started getting BBS attacks. If you keep a record, next time you will be doing BBS medication before 28.
Okay.
So
okay.
they will not even come.
Okay.
Yeah, they will not
so
even come.
with the record keeping, I mean, that's not only deal with has to do with the disease and all that, but I mean, from the harvest, how many crops you even harvested?
Yes, you have to
you
account.
have to record everything.
Yes, so that even when you are going to your net production, you know if you have to increase more.
Okay.
Or maybe you have a lot of produce which you don't have buyers, so maybe you have to decrease.
Okay.
Or maybe you have to change your pattern of farming. Maybe if you are following the normal pattern, major season and minor season, now you do off season.
Okay.
And off season fetch a lot of money. Maybe you have mango last month matured, it's a big deal. Or you have potatoes at a time, maybe the potato season is off, but you have it.
You have it,
yeah. Then you add a whole lot of value to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so join us in the conversation. We have a comment coming in from Eden Makion. So this question is going to you. I mean, it says that it's a very insightful conversation, but he has a question. He says, what are some of the export requirements? Okay, I think we've dealt with this, but what are some of the export requirements?
Certification.
Okay. I mean, we've talked about that. So, yeah. I mean, we spoke of the fact that you need to be, your crops need to be certified.
Yes.
I mean, you have an exporter.
Yes.
And then you need to meet some regulatory checks and all that. Right. And then it needs to be branded well.
Yeah.
That comes with marketing. Branding is key. Yeah. So, I mean, we need branding. All right. So, do we speak about technology?
Not yet.
Yeah. So let's talk about technology when it comes to the export market. I mean, we know that for Ghana, majority of farmers or even processors are not well inclined with technology. I mean, so how are you dealing with this? How does technology come in ensuring that the quality and then the volume of crops that is being exported to the international markets is of right standards?
Technology plays a paramount role in this modern world. Anything you do without technology, then you are way behind.
Okay.
You are not going anywhere. It's like you just want to get stressed and yeah. So technology play a big role. It helps in terms of high production. You are able to do more at a very low time.
Okay.
It helps you save time. It helps you to also reduce the use of this pesticide, fungicide, because you are able to do, in case, let's say weedicide, if you have tractors to weed your farm, you don't have to be using weedicide, which have a bad impact on the nature around you, because the more you use weedicide, you are sucking the insects, and I mean the germs which are supposed to bring a good soil fertility, you are throwing all of them away.
Okay.
Yeah, you are throwing all of them away. So at the end of the day, you farm for a couple of seasons with a good yield. The rest of the season, it becomes, then you say the land is not good.
Okay.
But too much chemical.
Yeah. So you, for instance, how do you educate farmers on this?
We make them understand either you use manual labor or technologies.
Okay.
Some farmers have a whole lot of problem. They miseducate themselves, and it's become a whole lot of problem. Like you have a crops that is getting to almost maturity age, and you are using toxics, too much toxics in the farm, where you know these crops is almost certain to consumption for people. So you should reduce the toxics you really put around those foods.
I mean, so that means that there must be a lot of sensitization and
Yes,
education when it comes to some of these things.
Yes, and every farmer needs to join a group.
Okay, they need to join associations. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, we have the farmer-based organizations, farmer group organizations.
Yes.
We have some.
Yeah. There are many.
Are you part of one of them?
Yes, we have the SSI Farmers Cooperative. We are part of the some few organizations in the villages, and also regional organizations. Yes.
Okay. So briefly, tell us some of the success stories of farmers who have had their products to be on international market and they are doing so well.
Yes, farms like, let's say, can I mention the name?
Yeah, you can mention the name.
Yeah, Cops Farms.
Cops Farms.
Yeah,
okay.
Cops Farms, Encast, Agri-Novo.
Okay.
You know, there are farms which are doing well in the exports value chain. And they are doing well. They are making the trademark be more respectful. You know?
Okay.
It's not just, that's why I said earlier, you have to be experienced to be an exporter. Okay. Because the little mistake you do as one exporter can make everybody go bound. Because if you send an inferior product to any country like Europe and they have a problem, they will say we are banned from exporting this. So one person mistake can get So it's very necessary that you work, even as a farmer, before any exporter comes, make sure you really ask of your association if this person is a satisfied exporter or an experienced one, and they are willing to help, they are willing to work together.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much for the discussion today. So finally, your advice to farmers before we wrap up.
Our advice to farmers is to maybe attend a whole lot of conferences that involve involving anything affiliated to their production and business.
Okay.
Like joining farm associations, attending seminars by exporters, going training, also to make sure they register with the plant protection agencies.
Okay. Yeah. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? SSI Agri Farms.
We want to make sure we bring a whole lot of value between the farmer and the producers. I mean, the whole value chain. We want, because there is a big gap and we have to close it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? You want to close it, but what specifically are you looking at?
Making sure the farmer is meeting the supplier's demand, and the supplier is also comfortable and satisfied with what he has, or what he receives, or what he's purchasing. Okay. Because with that, it brings